Welcome to Lecture Online. This is Nandakumar from the Department of Automobile Engineering, the Anand Sagar College of Engineering. In this video lecture, we'll explain you how to draw an acceleration diagram. So before we draw an acceleration diagram, we should know what is acceleration, and to know it, let us first understand the acceleration of a body along a line, that is linear acceleration, along a circular path, that is the circular acceleration. So for that, let a body m be moving in this direction. So let this as a velocity of 5 meter per second at 0 second, and then after 1 second it has 6 meters per second, and after 2 seconds it has 7 meters per second. So I can say that this body has got velocity in this direction and also acceleration in this direction. So the velocity at the 0 instant could be shown with a vector, and that vector is called as the velocity vector, or sometimes it's called as velocity diagram if it is for many links in a mechanism where you need to find the relative velocities of each of the links. So a velocity diagram is basically a velocity vector which is shown like this, so which you know, and it is shown this way. And for the velocity vector at this instant it is 5 meter per second, so it is in this direction. So I will draw a velocity vector where this vector length is proportional to this. I can take 5 centimeter here, so I can say this as the velocity of m with respect to the ground. So this is moving against the ground here, so this is the velocity like this, and I show it like this. So this is about the velocity. Now at this instant you can see that from 0 second to 1 second it has increased velocity by 1 meter per second. So acceleration is nothing but velocity divided by time. So the change in velocity, basically the change in velocity divided by time, the change in velocity is nothing but 6 meter per second minus 5 meter per second divided by 1 second. So it is during a time of 1 second it has increased the speed by 1. So you can say that it is 1 meter per second divided by 1 second. So this is 1 meter per second square. So the acceleration is 1 meter per second square. So in this way, suppose if this is happening at 0.1 second, then it will be 10 meter per second square. So acceleration I have to show, and the acceleration is increasing and it is in the same direction. So if it is the acceleration diagram, then the acceleration has to be shown like this. In the case of the velocity, it is used with small letters, like ground is g and the velocity of the moving body is m. And in the case of the acceleration diagram, the absolute point which has no velocity is written with g1, and the acceleration of the moving part is written with a suffix 1 like this. So here this is, so in the case of velocity we use the term v. In the case of acceleration we don't use a, we use f. So this has to be remembered. Acceleration we should have used a, and for many reasons we use f, and I can write that this is the acceleration of m with respect to g. Now going with the same example but changing data like this. So at the 0 second it was 5 meter per second. After 1 second it became 6 meter per second. Instead of 6 meter per second, if it is trying to decrease the velocity, like after 1 second it is 4 meter per second, after 2 seconds it's 3 meter per second, so which means that the velocity is decreasing. In that case, the acceleration, so the velocity is, suppose if you're drawing again the velocity and acceleration, if you're trying to draw the velocity and acceleration here, so the velocity diagram again will be in the same direction. So the velocity will be written like this. So this is the velocity of the moving part with respect to the ground, which is actually 5 meter per second. So this is m. But if you want to draw the acceleration diagram where it is decreasing, So that means that is at 0 second it is 5 meter per second, and after 1 second it is 4 meter per second. So there is decrease in velocity. So decrease in velocity, you can say that acceleration is velocity divided by time. So velocity is final velocity, which is 4 meter per second minus 5 meter per second divided by time, that is 1 second. So you finally get it as minus 1 meter per second divided by 1 second. So it is minus 1 meter per second square. So we have got this minus sign. So therefore, when we draw the acceleration diagram for a body which is moving along this direction, so the body is moving in this direction, the body is moving in this direction, but the acceleration vector can be exactly ulta like this. So this has to be kept in mind, that when the acceleration is decreasing, so the acceleration vector can be opposite to the direction of the velocity vector. So in this way, so this acceleration vector can be written like this. So where it is m1, so this is the acceleration of m with respect to g. Acceleration can be opposite like this. Now we will try to understand the acceleration along a circular path. Okay, now to understand the acceleration along a circular path, let us imagine the body, the same body m, which was earlier moving along a straight path like this, suddenly is made to move along a circular path about this midpoint. So you can almost imagine that this body m could be imagined as if it is connected through a link like this, which is at a radius r, which may be like 1 meter. And this body earlier, as per the example, was moving at 0 second it was moving at 5 meter per second. After 1 second it was moving at 6 meters per second. So it is increasing its velocity. So this body is now not allowed to move along the straight direction, but it is now, since it is inched about this point, it has to definitely take a circular path like this. Now at 0 second it is traveling at a velocity of 5 meter per second, and the radius is 1 meter, and therefore, since we know the radius, we know the formula v is equal to r omega. So v is equal to r omega. Of course, I can write it here. V is equal to r omega, and since we know r is equal to 1 meter, so it is traveling at an angular velocity of 5 radians per second, because one radius is 1 meter. So it is actually traveling at 5 radius speed. So it is 5 radians per second, and this is at 0 second. And after 1 second, this will travel at a velocity of 6 meter per second, which is actually 6 times the radius. So this is 6 radians per second. So you will see that, so the velocity at this instant, if you want to draw a vector, so the velocity at this instant is v. So you can call this as the velocity which is r omega, so which you call it as the tangential velocity. Until now we are simply calling it as velocity. Now we can call it as tangential velocity. So tangential velocity is nothing but 1 meter into 5 radian per second, so which is actually 5 meter per second, which was the earlier we had. And similarly, within 1 second, it is now increasing its angular velocity from 5 radian per second to 6 radian per second. So there is what is called as acceleration. That acceleration is called as the angular acceleration. So at this instant of 0 second, so you can say that it has got an angular velocity omega of 5 radian per second, and also at this instant it has got the tendency to increase its angular velocity by 1 radian per second every second. So that is 1 radian per second square. So it has also got an angular acceleration. Angular acceleration symbol is alpha, and angular acceleration symbol is alpha, and you can say that it has got angular acceleration of 1 radian per second square. 1 radian per second square. So angular acceleration similar to this tangential velocity, you can have what is called as the tangential acceleration. The tangential acceleration is the product of radius into angular acceleration. So this is called as the tangential acceleration. So tangential acceleration is ft, and f similar to velocity. This is the tangential velocity, which is r into angular velocity. Here tangential acceleration is r into tangential the angular acceleration. So therefore here the radius is 1 meter and the tangential acceleration is 1 radian per second square. So you get this tangential acceleration. So this has angular acceleration as 1 radian per second square. So you get the tangential acceleration as 1 meter per second square tangential acceleration. So this is the tangential acceleration, which is always perpendicular to the link, which is always in the direction of the velocity. So it is in the direction of the velocity when this angular acceleration is increasing along with the velocity. Suppose if the same thing goes ulta like this, so that is at 0 second, that's at 0 second it is 5 meter per second. After 1 second, if it becomes 4 meter per second, then there is decrease in acceleration. So therefore the same vector 1 meter per second square has to be drawn in the opposite direction, but the velocity vector will be in this direction. So this has to be remembered even when it has got an angular velocity, even when the link is rotating in the clockwise direction, if this angular acceleration is in the opposite direction, that is, if it is decreasing, if the angular acceleration is decreasing, then the vector for the angular acceleration, the tangential acceleration, will be in the opposite direction. When you're trying to solve a numerical on the acceleration of any mechanism, then mechanisms will have links, they will have sliders, and if it is a link, then the link will have some angular velocity like this, which is given in radian per second. It will have some angular acceleration. Angular acceleration is given by the term alpha, like 1 radian per second square. So if it is increasing, then the angular acceleration vector will be in this direction. If the angular acceleration is decreasing, suppose they may give that the angular acceleration is increasing in the counterclockwise direction, but this angular velocity is in this clockwise direction. So clockwise direction is this, but this is in the opposite direction. Then in that case, the angular acceleration in the opposite direction, which means that this tangential velocity has to be drawn. This tangential acceleration has to be drawn in the opposite direction. So this has to be kept in mind when we solve any numerical. So this is about the tangential acceleration. And one more component which is very important to solve a problem is the centripetal acceleration. Centripetal acceleration happens because any body which is trying to move, imagine this M, the same body M, which is trying to move along a circular path like this, then at this instant it wants to go in this direction. Okay, now we better take the previous example of a body which was moving along a straight path like this, and suddenly it is made to take a circular path like the previous example. And when we actually make that to take a circular path, then you'll see that all this time it was trying to have a velocity in this direction. So if it is moving from at 0 second, if it was 5 meter per second, and after 1 second, if it is 6 meter per second, then you can say that the acceleration is 1 meter per second square. And therefore at this point you imagine that it is like 5 meter per second, and okay, it wanted to increase its speed to 6 meter per second, okay, if it was to go along a straight line like this, but it is now suddenly made to move along a circular path like this. Maybe you can imagine that it is suddenly inched about this point when it comes to this location. Now all this point the body wanted to move along some direction, so okay, it had a velocity increase in one direction, but suddenly the body is made to move in, okay, in a different path which is actually perpendicular to this. Suppose if you go very close to this, it will be okay, it will be almost in line with the radius. So this is called as the change in path along the radius. So that means this actually takes some motion along the new direction. All this time it was moving from year to year, year to year. Now it has actually moved some distance in the y direction. I can say this is y direction. So therefore it has now, it had no velocity in the y direction earlier. It has now gained velocity in the y direction, which means that it has accelerated. The acceleration which is perpendicular to this acceleration, so this was the tangential acceleration. So, and this acceleration is called as the centripetal acceleration, because this is towards the center of the center, okay, about which the body wants to rotate. So faster and faster it moves, then it will try to take newer and newer positions here because of the speed v, and therefore this change in velocity in the y direction will be more and more. So that means this change in the position in the y direction will be more and more, and therefore this will have a change in velocity in y direction. So therefore this component is called as a centripetal acceleration. The centripetal acceleration is given by a formula which is actually v square by r. So there are actually two accelerations. So there will be two accelerations. One is the acceleration in the direction of the motion without the circular path, so that is called as a tangential acceleration, and the other acceleration is towards the center, that is called as a centripetal acceleration. And the tangential acceleration, as we already said, it is given by the product of angular acceleration multiplied r into angular acceleration, and similarly fc is given by the formula v square by r. So you can recall that we know that f is equal to ma, so where a is acceleration. So if we try to substitute this v square here, so we get the formula mv square by r. This is a familiar formula which is actually the formula for the centripetal acceleration, which is also equal to the centrifugal acceleration. So that means when a body is trying to rotate, now to pull the body towards the center, you need to apply an acceleration. So that means the body is trying to accelerate towards the center, and that acceleration is this, and therefore the mass of the body multiplied by this acceleration will give you the centripetal force. So I think you now understand why this Fc is v square by r. You might have studied how to derive the value of the centripetal acceleration in the previous classes. So therefore we assume that you know the tangential acceleration, which is actually r into alpha, and the centripetal acceleration, which is actually v square by r. And maybe in a numerical there could be only this angular velocity like 1 radian per second, and you sometimes they can give the angular velocity is constant, which means that this angular acceleration is 0. In that case, what can happen is that when this alpha becomes 0, the tangential acceleration can become 0. Even when a link is rotating about a fixed point here, when it has got angular velocity, then when it has got angular velocity, but when there is no angular acceleration, then this tangential acceleration becomes 0. But the centripetal acceleration, since it depends on the velocity, so where v is nothing but r omega. So once you have got this velocity of some point, and that velocity square divided by r will give you the centripetal acceleration. Even though when there is no angular acceleration, the centripetal acceleration will always exist, and the centripetal acceleration is always towards the center of the link, and this tangential acceleration is always perpendicular to the link and depends on the direction. And now the direction depends on whether the acceleration is increasing or decreasing, and if it is decreasing, it should be opposite to the direction of the velocity, the angular velocity, and if it is increasing, it should be in the direction of the angular velocity. Now let us understand the acceleration diagrams one by one by trying to draw the acceleration diagram for a simple link, just a link inched, and the link right now is at 60 degree to the horizontal, and it is now trying to rotate at an angular velocity of 2 radians per second, and it has got an angular acceleration alpha of 1 radian per second square. How do we draw the acceleration diagram for this? Before we actually draw this, whenever a body which is rotating about an inch point here like this, and whenever it tries to increase its velocity like this, so velocity is increased by a small value, so then the vector addition of this can be shown like this. So the velocity small increase here, and then this will give you, so this is v and this is v plus delta u, so this will give you the change in velocity, and this change in velocity is also proportional to the change in acceleration because it has to be differentiated with time. So this change in acceleration is actually along two components. So this can be along two components. One is along this line, so which is called as the tangential acceleration, and the other is called as the centripetal acceleration. So the actual acceleration of a body is the sum of the tangential acceleration and the centripetal acceleration. So this has to be remembered when solving a problem. So to find the actual acceleration of a body, we should know the tangential acceleration and also the centripetal acceleration, and the sum of these two vectors will give you the actual acceleration of the body. With this idea, we'll try to get the values for the tangential acceleration. So as we earlier said, the tangential acceleration ft is nothing but the radius into angular acceleration. So here the radius, let us take the radius as 1 meter, and the angular acceleration as 1 radian per second square. So it has to be second square, I had forgotten it. So you get it as 1 meter per second square. So the tangential acceleration is 1 meter per second square. The tangential acceleration is always perpendicular to the link like this. So yes, okay, you see that this acceleration is positive here, so that means I am drawing it in the direction of the angular velocity, and suppose if it was minus, then I should draw it in the opposite direction. So this is like this. So this is the tangential acceleration which is in this direction, and then similarly the centripetal acceleration fc is given by v square by r. So what is v? V is nothing but r omega. So r omega, so that is 1 meter. So we can write it here. So we can calculate the value of v first. R omega. So r is 1 meter. So angular velocity is 2 radians per second. So v is 2 meter per second. So the velocity is known. So here substituting this value 2 meter per second whole square divided by 1 meter. So we get the answer as 1 meter per second square. So this is the centripetal acceleration. So we have got the tangential acceleration, which is 1 meter per second square, and the centripetal acceleration as 4 meter per second square. And we know that the tangential acceleration is always perpendicular and the centripetal acceleration is always towards the center, like this. So how do we draw this? Okay, suppose if you have to find out, suppose we call this as O and if we call this as A. Okay, instead of that I'll call this as A, I'll call this as B, like any other kinematic, I mean the 4-bar kinematic diagrams, okay, like ABCD. So ABCD like this. So I will consider this as a link A, so that I can actually convert the small problem into a bigger problem without any complications. So now we know that the tangential acceleration is known and the centripetal acceleration is known. If you want the final acceleration, then it should be the vector sum of these two. And the tangential acceleration has to be perpendicular, and this is along the link which is towards the center. So now when we start the acceleration diagram, so let us start with the points which have zero accelerations. So the zero acceleration point is here A, so I'll write it as A1, and let us keep the scale parallel to this link and actually move the scale like this. Imagine this is a roller scale like this, and then I get a vector in this, and the centripetal acceleration is 4 meter per second square. So what I will do is I will take a scale like every 1 meter per second square is 1 centimeter. So this 4 meter per second square becomes 4 centimeter here. So this is the centripetal acceleration, which is the centripetal acceleration of this centripetal acceleration of B with respect to A. So that means A is a fixed point here. With respect to this, B is revolving. So the centripetal acceleration of B is towards A from B. So this is in this direction. So this is the centripetal acceleration, and the tangential acceleration is always perpendicular to the link like this, and therefore the tangential acceleration has to be drawn perpendicular using a set square like this, and draw a line which is perpendicular. And as per the value here, the tangential acceleration is 1 meter per second square. By taking a scale, 1 meter per second square is 1 centimeter. Here 4 meter per second square was taken as 4 centimeter. So this will be the tangential acceleration. So this vector is called the tangential acceleration of B with respect to A. So these two vectors combined will give the final acceleration. So this is the acceleration of B with respect to A, which is the combination of the centripetal acceleration and the tangential acceleration. In case this angular acceleration is minus 1 radian per second square, that means in the problem it was given that the angular velocity is clockwise 2 radians per second and angular acceleration is counterclockwise 1 radian per second square, which means that it is actually like this. In that case, suppose if it is given in this direction, then this tangential vector should have been drawn in the opposite direction. So therefore what you can expect is a diagram which starts like this, and then the ft value, the tangential acceleration value, will go like this. So this will be the centripetal acceleration with respect to BA, and the tangential acceleration like this, and the final acceleration will be shown like this. So this is the way you need to actually take care of the tangential acceleration, because the tangential acceleration can go opposite to the direction of the rotation. Now I have redrawn this diagram here for clarity. So the same link which was at 60 degree and whose length was 1 meter, and the point B I have drawn here. So the same link I have drawn here, and for this the acceleration of B was drawn earlier like this, assuming that it is rotating clockwise. The angular velocity is clockwise and the angular acceleration is also clockwise. I have drawn this. Now I will try to make this numerical a little complicated by trying to add one more link like this. So let this link, let the one more link which is now attached to this will have an angular velocity of 4 radians per second. So this is the angular velocity, and it will have an angular acceleration of again say 2 radians per second square. So this is angular acceleration which is clockwise. Then how do we actually continue the problem? Now let us continue the problem. Now to continue the problem we need again the length of the link here. Let us take the length of the link as 1.5 meter. Let us take it as 1.5 meter, and instead of 4 radians per second, again I will take it as 1 radian per second, because here the space is small and I feel it will go out of the available place here. So let us now find out the centripetal acceleration and the tangential acceleration of each of this. So according to the formula, the tangential acceleration is r into alpha. So r is given as, r means which is the length of the link here. So forget about this link. Okay, about the point B, this has got an angular velocity of 1 radian per second square, and about the link B, the point C, let us call this as point C, this has got an angular acceleration of 2 radian per second square. So if you want the tangential acceleration of C, this is the tangential acceleration of C with respect to B. So this is r into alpha. R is 1.5 meters multiplied by 2 radian per second square. So this becomes 3 meter per second square. So the tangential acceleration of CB is 3 meter per second square. Similarly, the centripetal acceleration of C with respect to B is V square by R, where V is the omega into R. So let us find out V first. So R into omega. So R is 1.5 meter and omega is 1 radian per second. 1 radian per second. So we get the answer as 1.5 meter per second. So let us substitute this